I'm excited about my Sankofa delivery, although I don't know how to plant seeds. But I'm sure Mr. Teacher will show us in today's lesson.
Hello everyone. As Brendan said, today we're going to go over how to plant your seeds that you got. So you guys should have gotten just a quick note that you guys also received your pot. With that, you can use your pot to start out with if you like, or you can use your egg cartons. It's pretty much the same concept. You want to split your pot into thirds. So a third of the layer will be your soil, the next layer will be your seeds, and the top layer you're going to put more soil on top. Or if you choose to start out with the egg carton, you would use your egg cartons and then transfer your plants into your pot. Piece of an egg carton like this. Now yours should not be styrofoam. Mine is, just because I didn't have any cardboard at the time. But what you're going to do is you're going to poke a couple holes at the bottom. That way when you do water your seeds, they're getting water and it's draining through and not staying in there messing with the roots or anything. So today I have, of course, gloves. You're going to need your gloves just so you protect your hands from any type of dirt or anything getting underneath your fingers, or any little bugs that might be in the soil or anything, just because it happens. So today I have pepper and green beans. So I eat both of these things. That's why I chose these seeds. Just if they grow the way they're supposed to, then I'll be able to use it for my own cooking needs. Then of course you have your soil. Mine's a little different than yours, but all soil is all the same. It's going to work the same. I'm actually going to use the directions on the back of the soil to kind of explain to you what you need to do when you're planting your seeds. So on the back here it says, again, you have your hole at the bottom. You want to fill it about 1/3 full. So of course 1/3 is not going to be huge in this little thing, but we want to make sure we don't fill it all the way up to the top. And then you want to, of course, leave some room at the bottom for your roots to grow. That way your plants grow prosperly. And then you're going to add more soil on top. That way your seeds will have that little pocket where they can sprout up. And then of course you're going to water it and make sure it gets sunlight depending on what it says on the back of your packet here. So for mine, garden green beans, it takes about 7 to 10 days to germinate. That means that it'll start growing. You'll start to see some little sprouts pop up. Sorry, it's a little windy. I don't want my camera to fall here. Depth to sow, so about 1 to 1.5 inches is how much space I'm going to need to leave for the seeds to be able to sprout at the bottom. I want to make sure they're about 6 inches apart. So from pod to pod, it'll have enough room to grow separately. And then days to harvest, about 62. So that's a little over 2 months. So with this, I want to make sure it is either outdoors or in direct full sunlight. So I want to definitely have it near the window. That way it's getting all the light it needs. Then of course water, let's see. So at the top here shows what kind, when the plant would most likely be growing prosperly. So the blue here on the back, it's in zone 2, so from March to June, which is exactly now. So that since I'm planting this now, it should grow pretty well as long as I take care of it. On to the peppers. Peppers, the same thing, it's in the blue, so zone 2. Grows pretty well from March to June. Takes about 10 to 20 days for me to be able to see some type of germination going on. About 1/4 depth to sow, so close to 1/3. Make sure they're a 1/2 foot apart once I put it out in an actual pot or in a garden. And 65 to 85 days to harvest. So you want to sow this one. Let me see if this is the same thing. This one says you can sow it indoors for about 8 weeks before the last frost date. So we haven't had any frost this year, so we're good. Make sure it's above 80 degrees or more. So your high 70s is okay too, which is pretty much what we normally would have in our house if we don't have the air conditioner on or the heat. Let's see. Make sure this one's the same. All right. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some soil in here. Again, we don't want to fill it up all the way, so we're going to just take it by kind of like you're pinching it. So you're gonna just put a little bit at the bottom there. Pinch, and I'm putting a little bit at the bottom for both. All right, so this is what I have so far. Go just a little bit at the bottom, about 1/3 the way full. Sorry, something flew in my eye. All right, and I'm gonna open up my seeds. Also, it would be a good idea to mark a pen so you know which seed you have where. And you don't need that many seeds, so I'm not gonna use them all. I'm just gonna use a little bit, a little pinch. So I'm gonna remember, since I did not bring a pen, on this side here, I'm gonna put the green beans. On this side, I'll put the pepper. I'll know because it doesn't have the cutoff part here. So you can just go in, pinch, and just take out a few seeds, not many. All right, so I'm just gonna use 2 seeds for now. So these are the green bean seeds. If you guys eat green beans, you'll notice how they look just like they do when you eat green beans if you open them up. Oh, I lost the seed. So I'll grab, oh, here it is. Go there. I'm gonna put these 2, I thought I lost it again. I'm gonna put these 2 seeds here. Remember, you guys gotta keep me straight here. I said where it's not cut. So 1, 2 green beans right here. And then I'm just gonna put a little soil on top. That way it'll be able to poke through. Then when I get it to where I want it to start growing, I'm gonna put some water in it. That way I have something underneath so the water drainage doesn't get all over the place and make a mess. And I wanna make sure that it's steady and doesn't spill. So when I take this to its location, I wanna make sure it's not gonna spill. All right, so I have my green beans there. I'm gonna get a couple of pepper seeds. Again, I'm just gonna pinch and take out a few seeds. So if you eat peppers, you know these seeds are a lot smaller than green beans. It's exactly how it looks on the inside if you eat peppers. Here, don't want to drop them. There we go. I just got a couple out. I'm just gonna put them in here. Maybe a few more, they're really tiny. Still got a couple in there. So put them right inside there. Then we're gonna put some soil on top. All right, so like I said, once I get these containers to their final destination, I'll be able to water them, keep them in a nice spot where they get lots of sunlight, because these plants require that sunlight, or vegetable plants, if you want to say it that way. They require a lot of sunlight, and I will post an update just to show you how they're going to see if they need to be replanted into a pot. So that was me planting green beans and peppers. So you guys should have received a package with your seeds in there. Let us know what seeds you got. Let us know if you were able to plant them. And then, of course, send us pictures with updates on how they're growing. And send those to sandycalf@gmail.com. We love to see them. We love to hear from you. Again, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay well. See you guys later.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Miss Brown. I want to welcome you back to National Poetry Month. It is always a pleasure and an honor to be able to read and share poems with you guys. I'm coming from a website called familyfriendpoems.com. It has many different poems on here. They have different categories like famous poems, poems about friendship, life, love, nature, teen poems, inspirational, anything of interest to you, they have it. It's definitely kid and family friendly, so I definitely enjoy this site. I am going to be reading a poem called Sick by the infamous Shel Silverstein. I shouldn't say infamous because a lot of his poems are definitely known. I I chose this poem because we can definitely relate to it. I know I can. There has been many times I have fake sick to get out of going to school. There was something going on at school that I just wanted no parts of. Whether it was a test I wasn't prepared for, a sports activity I wanted no parts of, like the mile running school. I wanted no parts of that. I was not going to school. Anything to get out of school. I have gone as far as to fake a fever and put the blow dryer to me, and by the time my mom checked my temperature, it was outrageous, and to the point like, do I have to take you to the hospital or are you lying? So the poem is called Sick, and here we go. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry, I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks, I've counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more, so that makes 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be the enzymatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin. My belly button is caving in. My back is wrenched. My ankle is sprained. My pendants pains each time it rains. My nose is cold. My toes are numb. I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff. My voice is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth. I think my hair is falling out. My elbow is bent. My spine ain't straight. My temperature is 108. My brain is shrunk. I cannot hear. There's a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail and my heart is what? What's that? What did you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye. I'm going out to play. We have all definitely been there. I don't know about the whole mistaken Saturday for another day, because I know when Saturday is, and I have always looked forward to a Saturday morning ever since I was a kid. But we've all been here where we have wanted to get out of going to school. And unfortunately, under these terrible circumstances, we are not able to go to work and go to school. And in a way, we kindly got the wish that we wanted to stay home and be lazy. But it's definitely getting kind of old at this point. I know I'm ready to go back to work. I miss my coworkers. I miss my students. I'm definitely ready to go back to school. I definitely miss my friends at school. So we definitely can all relate to that. I'm going to read another poem by Shel Silverstein. I chose this poem. It's called The Little Boy and the Old Man. And I chose this because as a child, my mom will always tell me that you are once an adult and twice a child. And that means, of course, you know, when you're young, you're considered a child, but also when you're older and some are not able to take care of themselves, like they are taken care of as if they were a child. So that's why my mom will always say that. And I chose it because during this hard time, we have to make sure we're taking care of one another, especially those of the older generation, our grandparents, our great grandparents, our great aunts and uncles. We have to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves so that we are able to take care of them. Some of them are not able to take care of themselves. So it is called The Little Boy and the Old Man. And here we go. Said the little boy, sometimes I drop my spoon. Said the little old man, I do that too. The little boy whispered, I wet my pants. I do too, laughed the old man. Said the little boy, I often cry. The little old man nodded, so do I. The worst of all, said the little boy, it seems grown-ups don't pay attention to me. And he felt the warmth of the wrinkled old hand. And I know what you mean, said the little old man. So little kids and older people definitely have a lot in common. And as I said before, make sure you are taking care of one another, especially during this hard time. You never know what someone is going through, especially our older generation. And the last poem I chose is called Messy Room. And I most definitely can relate to having a messy room. I will clean my room up only to dirty it back up. And as a kid, I would ask my mom, well, Why do you care what my room looks like? This is my room. It has nothing to do with the living room, the kitchen, or your room, but your room is definitely a reflection of who you are. So it's best that you make sure your room is clean at all times. So here we go. Whosever room this is should be ashamed. His underwear is hanging on the lamp. His raincoat is there in the overstuffed chair, and the chair is becoming quite mucky and damp. His workbook is wedged in the window. His sweater's been thrown on the floor. His scarf and one ski are beneath the TV, and his pants have been carelessly hung on the door. His books are all jammed in the closet. His vest has been left in the hall. A lizard named Ez is asleep in his bed, and his smelly old socks have been stuck to the wall. Whose ever room this is should be ashamed. Donald or Robert or Willie or... Huh? You said it's mine. Oh dear. I knew it looked familiar. That was really cute. I love it. I am becoming a definite fan of Shel Silverstein's poems. They are great. I've read a few before I've done this, and they're awesome. So if you guys want to check these out, the website is called familyfriendpoems.com. As I said before, they have many different poems that will be of interest to you. Many famous poems, many quotes. They have Edgar Allan Poe, which we all should be familiar with. Maya Angelou, Edwin Arlington Robinson, anything. So I hope you guys check this website out. I've enjoyed it, and I know you will too. Thank you for joining us today. Like I said, it's always a pleasure to read and share poems with you guys, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for joining us today.
You still here? Thank you for sticking around. On behalf of the staff and myself from Sankofa Inner City Culture League, we thank you for all of your support, and we love your comments. Please keep them coming. For those of you who would like to comment on our content, please send it to the email address below, sandycaf@gmail.com. Be good, be kind, be respectful. Till next time.